Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Kaelan's story. Today, we're going to pick up a couple days after your previous session. The rest of the week goes by smoothly as you return to your classes. Maybe you train a little bit more in the training room. But as Friday passes and you wake up on a Saturday morning, would Kaelan sleep in on the weekend, or would he wake up early as usual?
Well, uh, he had kind of had a plan for the next weekend to uh, take one of his team members out hunting. Um, so usually that would entail getting up early, and he would probably warn the person about getting up early to go hunting. So he would have warned Lilith about getting up early on the weekend to come hunting with him. Um, and I think he knows Hiram is a good survivalist, so he would try to find Hiram as well during the week before the weekend.
Okay.
See if he would more ask and then treat, like, with Lilith, oh, we're going hunting.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check for Lilith.
Fair enough. $19.
Yeah. At first, she seems reluctant, but she does come around to the idea of waking up early to go hunting. So,
I bribe her with Flava and money because
you will make money. Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, we will make money. So
Okay. How early are we talking?
Like first morning light early. Like it's still dark when we wake up.
So, like 4:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Okay.
How is Hiram to that? Like I just ask him.
He's fine.
Okay. It sounds like he's done it before.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Like, you ask him, and he doesn't have his helmet on when you ask him, so he basically would say, I am familiar. Yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
All right. Fair enough. Cool. All right. I'll see you on the weekend.
I'll be there. So, you wake up at 4:30 in the morning before the ass crack of dawn.
Yes.
You go and you try to find Lilith and Hiram. This early, before dawn, the halls are patrolled by these massive suits of armor. Each one is wielding a halberd between both hands, and they patrol slowly. They are not visible during the day. I don't know if you've ever seen them before. They're not out during the common hours. So, how would Kaelan react to seeing these animated suits of armor patrolling the halls of the Merigard?
I think it would surprise him a little. He kind of half expected the halls to be, dead quiet, but hearing the footsteps kind of like puts him. He's a little shocked, but he realized that it's probably for protection against, certain things that might happen, and it kind of puts him at ease, knowing that he's sleeping with protection.
Yeah.
So, but the early morning quiet is kind of that he was hoping for is kind of shattered, and he goes to the mess hall.
Yeah, they're not quiet as they're moving.
Yeah.
Okay, as you head to the mess hall, Hiram is already there.
All right.
He is drinking clava out of a mug and has a small breakfast in front of him. No one else is in the mess hall. He looks up at you as you enter, and he just kind of holds his hand up.
I think he won't say good morning. He'll just give a silent nod and go get breakfast himself.
Okay.
Um, he's gonna enjoy this very early morning quiet. Um, with his grandfather, uh, it was much the same on hunts. It was a very quiet morning where everything was kind of silent. But they understood what needed to be done, and it got done. Um, not much talking. Um, but there was kind of like this mental connection there.
Okay.
So
So it's almost a nostalgic moment for you.
a little bit, yeah, yeah, definitely a nostalgic moment. Um, so he would go get some clava and a nice breakfast, nothing heavy, nothing like pancakes or anything like that. Just some eggs, some protein, and that's it.
As you sit down to eat breakfast, it's maybe like 10 minutes later, and you too are sipping a clava when Lilith enters the mess hall, and she is tired. Her eyes are scratchy, they're not really open all the way, and she kind of shambles into the room.
Um, seeing her that way, I think he would get a second mug and pour some of the carafe of clava into it, and just kind of like pat the seat next to him.
She accepts the clava from you and holds up a middle finger.
Good morning.
Ugh.
Probably eat something not heavy though. No pancakes.
She does not say anything and continues to drink the clava.
All right. He'll just eat quietly. He's not gonna like force her to do anything. I don't think he could.
No, probably not. After about 10 minutes of just quiet and the occasional like sounds of yawning coming from Lilith, and she rubs her face and tries to get herself awake. The clava helps, and eventually she does get up and go and get herself breakfast. You notice that she does not get pancakes, but she does get more eggs than you got.
That's fine. Probably needs the calories just to stay awake. But um, when she leaves to go get breakfast, he'll turn to Iron. So have you ever hunted in these woods?
No, but I'm eager to try.
Very well.
Have you?
Um, no, this is my first outing. Well, at least hunting in the woods, like traditionally.
I didn't consider
No,
the ambush drakes counting.
no, that was more of a mission than anything else.
Do you have a target we're trying to find, or just food? Pelts.
Well, I don't like leaving things to waste. But I was thinking about maybe stopping by the tanners, seeing what they are looking for, and going from there.
It's not a bad idea. I've found that every new place I go, there's some creature I've never heard of.
True. Um, Usually, we'd hunt for overpopulated species. Kind of reset the balance of nature. So maybe they'll know what's overpopulated and what's not at the tanners as well.
Good thinking. And at the least, we can find out how much it'll be worth.
True. If they have maybe a particularly rare species they're looking for, like a pelt, maybe we should weigh those options as well.
He quietly nods. And then Lilith sits down. And she says, "You're planning without me. Hmm?"
Oh, we're just talking strategy. Have you ever been hunting before in these woods?
She shakes her head. "I've never been hunting."
Well then, uh, usually the first rule of hunting your local area is culling the overpopulated species in the forest. If a certain creature gets overpopulated, it could ruin the ecosystem. So it's best that the hunters target those creatures rather than more endangered species.
So how do we get... Wait, what's the point of this? Like, are we just...
To get the pelts that the tanners need, sell them for money.
Aye, okay. I thought it was for money, you just confused me. Alright.
Oh, well, it's more than just getting money. It's making sure nature isn't balances of nature are reset as well as getting money for pelts.
You notice as you're talking about nature, Lilith's eyes are like glazing over. She does not seem to care about this.
But it should be fun, even though it's early in the morning.
How much, like, is this a whole day thing?
Oh, no. I'd say we could probably stop around midday. That's when, we can stop.
Unless
have the
we
rest
can't
of the
find
day or
anything.
itself. That's true. But, I think we'll be alright with us three.
As breakfast is consumed and you're talking about this, Hiram seems to be like maybe appraising Lilith or like trying to get a read on her. And he says, "How good are you at being quiet?" And Lilith looks at him and kind of leans on one side and says, "As good as a bear is at shitting in the woods." And Hiram says, "That's not how that saying goes." All right, point. I get it.
Kaelan will just silently laugh at that. Well then, do you have any ranged weapons, Lilith? Hiram.
Hiram nods, and Lilith says, "I have a bow. Should I go get it?"
Alright.
All right.
Might be easier if we can sneak up on the prey.
You think short
Take
bow,
mount.
long bow, crossbow, heavy crossbow, hand crossbow? What do you think?
Whatever you feel more comfortable with.
She blinks at you.
Well, I use a longbow because I can fire from a great distance.
Well, we can't wear the same dress to the ball.
No, longbow it is.
She nods and she gets up. Hiram watches her leave and he kind of chuckles. And he looks at you and he says, "She's a fun one." I have changed
she
his
is.
art to represent the fact that he will not be wearing his heavy plate armor during a hunt.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
And for all our viewers, this is what Hiram looks like. He's been revealed before. Not a big deal.
Yes.
Unless it's Pen, and she will swoon. Lilith eventually comes back, and you see that she does have a long bow strung across her back. It is one that features the paisley of the Marigard across its limbs, so it's clearly made by Sekka, the Orcish blacksmith. It it looks like she wears it like someone who knows how to wear a longbow. So you imagine she's likely proficient in it.
Of course. I think I have maybe 10 arrows left, so I might need to go grab some more before heading out.
Do you say that?
Sure. I only have 10 arrows left, so I'm going to have to grab some more arrows.
What the fuck
before
would you do
we head
without
out.
me? And Lilith, like, reaches into her belt and pulls out a quiver and hands you a sheaf of 20 arrows.
These will do. Thank you.
They better.
All right.
You know what I'm training for, right?
No, actually.
Oh.
I know you're a fighter, but
Illarad says that a fighter needs to be able to use anything they get their hands on in the battlefield.
it's good advice.
Well, it's a motto he lives by, so I've been trained with... Well, I'm training with every weapon you can imagine. There's some weird shit out there.
Maybe something like this, and he'll like whip out the tomahawk that he has.
He looks at it and says... She looks at it and says, "Yep."
It's a nice little axe thing. It's a little bit lighter, and he'll just hand it over to her so she can check it out.
Let me roll a thingy here. She takes the axe from you and tucks her finger underneath the beard of this tomahawk, and she is twirling it around on her finger and then flipping it up and then swapping hands with it, doing all sorts of small little tricks. And she says, "Yeah, I'm familiar. I like it, though.
All right.
It's got a good balance."
I like it too.
She keeps flipping it around until you stop her.
And no, I'm just gonna let her mess with it for however long she wants.
Oh, it's like 5 minutes where she just keeps twirling it around.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So with this tomahawk, I haven't really gotten a chance to speak about it, but it would have a snakeskin leather grip to it at the very base,
Okay.
so it could be good for like throwing as well as using as a melee weapon. And the wood is beautiful. It is carved and crafted by his grandfather, so it does have the mark of his grandfather at the very base of the tomahawk handle.
So, if it was made of rare wood from around Tridonia, or from Trident, it is ironic to me that you chose snakeskin for the wrap, because a rare and valuable wood from Trident is snakewood, which the grain almost looks like snake scales and then it's iridescent.
Well, that's cool.
But it's a remarkably hard wood that can still be flexible if treated right. So a craftsman would absolutely use it for a throwing weapon.
Oh, cool. Nice. All right. If that's the case, then that might there might not be the snakeskin leather, but it's there for show.
Sure. I mean, it would look cool.
Yes, that's the idea behind it. But that's kind of what it is. And then at the top where the hatchet is of the tomahawk, kind of like it's a viper's head striking and holding the axe head. That's what the wood looks like.
Do you have a name for it? She asks as she's twirling it around with a, just like spinning it around in her hands.
Oh, I haven't really given it a name.
You should name it
What do you?
Snakebite.
That sounds good. I think that'll do. Snake bite.
She
I like it.
stops twirling it finally, catching it by the head and giving it a good look. And then she nods and hands it back to you.
I'll take it. Put it into his belt.
Girl's got to show off.
That was good. Skilled.
I know.
Well then, first light should be hitting soon, so let's head out.
Lead the way. And she downs the last of her clava, stops, refills it from the carafe one more time, and chugs another mug, and then follows you.
All right.
Hiram's just
No.
next to you. Hiram's okay.
All right. Sounds good. Um. Yeah.
There-
so we'll just.
there
head
is
out
no-
to-
You notice there is no Persh at the front desk right now.
Oh shit. We woke up before he did.
Yeah. He is only
then.
human. Well, dwarfish.
I need sleep sometime.
Sometime.
All right. Just kind of waltz on out the front door and head towards the Tanners.
Okay. Turner's Hides and Tannery. You noticed this shop a while ago when you were exploring Ferrum, and you know that it is on the Rain Road, just where the Ferrum Market meets it. And
Well, I've sold the wolf pelts from.
that's correct, you did do that. Sorry. My memory is dog shit. Okay, so you have done business with them before.
Yes.
Alright. As you approach, the human that you spoke with last time is not there. You see that in this early morning there is a half-elf woman who is covered in like thick hides, but you notice that's not what she's wearing. That's just the tanning business that she's doing. She's got all of her shoulders as she is going between the racks and the pots, and it smells terrible, but as she shrugs them all off into the nearest pot, she's actually just wearing the equivalent of like a tank top and leggings, and she looks up. Morning.
Well, good morning. We're here to see what the bounty is on belts. What do you need? What do you need stock of?
Good timing. Well, there's a couple things we could use. It's, well, around here, around the Allend Forest, it's deer season. If you can get some doe and buckskins, that'd be great. But if you manage to find some Norok skins, that would be excellent. We're paying
Alright.
double for those.
All right, Neurok skins. What is that?
Roll fee a nature check.
Okay. All right, another 17 for 20.
A Nurok it's a rare breed of deer. They're magically infused. They have.
Oh.
It seems as though bark grows out of their shoulder joints, and their antlers look like tree bark, so they can blend in with the environment unnaturally well.
Gotcha. All right.
They
So more
seem-
stealthy deer.
Yes, they seem to have a magical affinity to camouflage themselves in addition to their bark-like appendages.
Cool. All right. All right. Very well. Double for the. What's the price per pelt?
8 gold for buck, 6 gold for doe, 10 gold for each for a full set of antlers that are not damaged, and double that if it's Nurok.
All right. Do you have any bags for us that we could probably, if we?
I have
come
one
into
I
a
can
lot of
rent you.
belts? All right.
And she
Just
pulls
one.
out. She Well, she looks at you and she says, how much do you think you're going to find?
Oh, there's three of us.
Roll a persuasion check.
Uh, okay, not bad for him.
She looks at you and she says, why don't you go ahead and take one bag for now, and if you're so successful, your next venture, I'll be more willing to part with more. It is a liability to set out with a bag of holding away from us, if you understand.
I understand.
They are expensive pieces of equipment, and I hate to have to find you down and cut your neck.
I would not want that. Well,
Next to you, Lilith says, I like you. The half-elf Tanner, like, smiles broadly, and then she heads back and she says, that'll be 10 gold for the rent. You get it back when you bring back the bag.
very well. I'll hand her 10 gold.
She hands you a bag of colding, which you know
Perfect.
preserves whatever it is that you put inside the bag. You believe it could probably hold between 8 to 10 pelts,
All right.
depending how big they are.
8 to 10. Gotcha. Gold has changed in Foundry. So 6. Got it. All right. I'll take the bag and.
I
All right,
expect
we'll
to
be
see you
back.
tonight, and if I don't, well, out come the blades.
Very well. We'll be back later today.
You better be. And she just smiles cheerily and she says, happy hunting!
Have a good day.
You then hear this horrible squelching noise as all this liquid is poured over the skins that are about to be tanned. And you hear her say, that's the grossest part. And just... and the smell is profoundly awful.
Oh,
It smells of chemical and burnt hair and urine, and it is just disgusting. And as you're leaving, Lilith says, fuck me, that's rank.
process of getting good leather.
There's not a... Ugh. And you can see she's like holding back a gag, and she decides to stop talking.
You should smell the varnish that we put on our wood.
I'm good.
All right.
Hiram shrugs.
All right.
You grow up around it, you get used to it.
Oh, you do.
Lilith
And
Lilith
we're
shakes her
walking
head
and talking.
follows you. Yeah. You're making your way out. Now, before you leave, as you're heading out the chapel gate, there is a chance for a random encounter, even this early in the day.
All right.
I need you to roll me a d8.
Low. Let's go low.
That's an 8.
That's an. That's not what I wanted, game.
Well, give me a d100, please.
Yeah.
A 2.
All right.
As you are walking and you pass through the market, you notice that it is not busy at all. There's like a couple vendors that are currently setting up their stalls. And you see there is a procession of individuals. You see there is a half-orc man who looks very well-dressed, and a number of guards with him. And when he sees you, he says, "Excuse me, you there? Do you have a moment?"
Short moment, but what's going on?
"Oh, heading from the tannery, are you? Ooh, smells pungent. Anyway, I was looking for a Marigod student. I was hoping to invite maybe a few to a little get-together I'll be having over the week. Would you be interested in a party?"
That's a little strange. What's your name, sir?
"I am but a steward. I work for Her Majesty Bronsil Hammerhand." Roll me
Is
a
that-
roll me a history check.
All right. So good at this. Yes. Amazing.
No idea. Not a clue. You're not
And
even
who's
sure
that?
that's a dwarf. He says, "Oh, so quaint up to you. Bronsel Hammerhand is the Duchess of, well, the Western Territories of Ko.
All right. What's this get together for?
Recruitment, of course. You Marigold students are always searching for work, are you not?
When we're contractors, we take contracts.
Well,
But
yes, but when you're students, you're more open to other contracts, yes? Or
uh,
have I been misled?
I would have to talk to our instructors first. Um, is this an open invitation?
To any students who are interested, yes, of course.
I'll look to Lilith and Hiram and just kind of gauge their
Roll an insight
what they
check.
think, what they think of this. That's pretty good.
You see Lilith's fingers are itching. You do not think that she trusts nobles, especially from the way she is giving this man the stink eye. Hiram seems neutral. He seems interested in the idea of work, but he is wary of this individual.
All right. Can we just have a note or a card or anything?
Oh, yes, yes, of course. And he pulls out a placard and hands it to you. It is a vellum card that gives, like, Monday through Friday open arrangement greetings. Then it mentions an address.
Okay. Does it have the name of the noble?
Yeah, I'll write it down for you.
Okay.
You may have heard there are some tensions between Kale and Aurelia as of late.
Aye.
Well, you want to be sure that you are assisting the correct side. And we pay well. Very well.
All right.
If you feel like having the Hammerhand family in your debt, stop by the address. And he tips his head to you.
He'll nod and pocket the card.
Happy hunting.
Have a good day.
This noble smiles at you and then gestures for his procession to carry on, and you see they are heading in the direction of the Merryguard Academy.
Okay then. But no, but it's so early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
What's the make of the procession? Is it like armed individuals?
So it's a bunch of people. The one you spoke to was a half-orc,
Yeah.
who was extremely well dressed, very well tailored clothes, Victorian-esque sort of like noble, very pointed beard and well trimmed and clean shaven everywhere else. His procession, there were a couple people that looked armed, like basically men at arms. They did not look on guard. They had weapons, they were sheathed, they were relaxed, they were basically just being bodyguards. The rest of the procession you see were carrying all sorts of things. One of them was carrying what looked like 4 sets of poles. Another one was carrying like a big roll of cloth that looked like maybe canvas or linen. They looked like they were up to something, but you don't know what.
Okay, well, I mean, that sounds, the poles and the cloth sounds like he might be taking up residence in the Merryguard Academy walls. which would make sense because KO and Aurelia are in conflict, and he needs neutral ground right now, probably. Uh, that's just the player's thoughts.
Okay.
Should we, should we shadow them? What do you think? They're headed for the Merry-Guard.
Lilith looks at you and she says, "No. The Merry-Guard can handle whatever the fuck they're gonna do."
All right. Let's get going.
Hiram says, "I am inclined to agree. We have hunting to do."
Very well. Okay. Just continue.
Okay, that's what you rolled.
Weird.
You head out of the gates and out towards the forest.
All right. Let's start trying to find some tracks here. For obviously, I'm gonna try and find the higher bounty pelts.
The Nurok, you're looking specifically for Nurok. Okay.
Looking for Nurok.
Okay. Hold on a minute. I've lost Hiram. Where the fuck did he go? Oh. That's why. His image changed. Hold on a minute. Let me correct that. Okay. As the three of you head into the Allen Woods, it is early in the morning. Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. That's going to make this easier, as the suns have not quite risen yet. It is dawn, and dawn in Amaranth is different from dawn on Earth or any other world that has one sun.
Okay.
Dawn is unpredictable. Sometimes Pyrrhus and Tyrrhus are next to each other in the sky, and sometimes one sets before the other. Okay. When Tyrrhus rises before Pyrrhus, it is a blue dawn. The light is cold and harsh, and it is thought to be the best days for battle or fighting, and warriors see a blue dawn as a blessing. And when Pyrrhus rises before Tyrrhus, it is a white dawn. Everything glows warmly. It is less bright and harsh, but the lights that are shining are more mellow and soft, and it is seen as a day of renewal, health, healing. When both suns rise at the same time, which are the rarest, it is thought to be a day of bounty, a day of luck, a day where anything one tries to accomplish is thought to be successful. However, in days where Pyrrhus and Tyrrhus, one of them is blocking the other, that is always an ill omen. And as you are out here in the morning, at dawn, you are the first player who's going to roll me a dawn roll. So I need you to roll me a D100.
Okay. No pressure. Another 2. I should win the lottery. I should go play the lottery right now.
A 2. Okay, that is interesting. You witness a dawn of ill omen.
Oh, man.
Tyrrhus is the only sun you see in the sky, as it is fully eclipsing Pyrrhus right now. Hiram looks around and he says, "I hope we're not fighting anyone today."
Me either. Hyper-tensive today.
Yeah. Let's keep our wits about us. And even Lilith seems to pick up on this is a naturally uncomfortable phenomenon.
Okay.
You also know, however, with a Dawn of Ill Omen, everything feels that anxiety. It might be a little harder to hunt on a day like this.
All right.
It just means your DCs are going to be raised a little bit. Go ahead and roll me a survival check and a nature check. And you'll be doing it at advantage for the survival because Hiram knows what he's doing.
Perfect.
Lilith is watching, and I'm going to have Lilith roll a stealth check to not fuck anything up.
Okay.
Lilith rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
That's certainly
All right,
a good
here
start.
comes... Okay. Not the best. Oh, 8 and a 1.
For a
But,
15.
And nature...
The nature is a straight roll.
12.
12. The hunt starts slow. The bright light of the Dawn of Ill Omen is easy to navigate the forest by. But you also notice that the forest is quieter than you would expect it to be. You still hear the waking calls of birds and wildlife skittering about. And as you all are being quiet, which I do also need a stealth check from you and Hiram.
Of course. Oh, man.
Hiram rolled a 19. Oh, Kaelan. My guy, your dice are just not with you today.
Maybe I'll add... get some help from the family line.
17. Okay, that's doable. All right. 17. That beats the passive perception of creatures. A 13 does not. All right.
Mm-hmm.
As you get quiet, following game trails, avoiding obvious noise-making pathways, the three of you make your way through the forest, keeping your eyes out for any sign of a medium or large creature, a deer, a buck, I almost said a beer, a deer, or a buck, or a nurok. And as you're looking around, roll me a D100.
What's this 100? Oh my god.
1. My guy, this is like a record.
Oh my god. Oh, wow.
Okay. The dice tell the story here. One moment, please. I am impressed at your dice.
Last D100 rolls 221. Last 3 in succession. Holy moly.
With a 1, you discover, while you are searching for wildlife that you're trying to hunt, you see there is a tree house that is nestled up amongst these shorter trees. They're deciduous. It's hidden well by the branches and the wide leaves, but it looks abandoned. You can see there is a rope ladder that is hanging halfway up the tree. Looks like it has not been used in a long time.
Could this be maybe a hunter's treehouse?
Yeah, it looks like it
set
could
up?
be. Could be a perch.
Quietly, he'll meet up with Lilith and Hiram. Treehouse. Maybe hunters previously?
Do you want to check it out?
Alright, let's check it out.
All right, I'll stay down here. Lilith, you go up with him. And she looks at Hiram and then at you. You get the feeling she's not used to taking orders from someone she barely knows.
After he says that, come on, Lilith. It'll be alright.
She follows you. You don't have to roll to climb the ladder. It's just a ladder.
Alright, he's gonna check if it's sturdy or not.
It looks like it's definitely seen better days. It's got a lot of stretch to it, but it looks like it will hold your weight.
Okay. he'll climb on up.
Okay. As you climb up into the treehouse and you look around, it is clear that this was a hunter's perch. You see that there are wide openings in each wall, and the inside of this treehouse is very heavily weather damaged. It's been raining, it's been windy, hail has obviously worn away at a lot of the wooden surfaces. You see there is a wooden cabinet in a corner of the room. It's pretty rudimentary. The hinge is basically just a wooden peg driven through holes that were bored through the wood. It doesn't look like anything that was store bought. It looks like whoever was using this hunter's perch was the sort of survivalist that would sustain themselves and would not spend a lick of coin on anything from a general store.
Fair enough.
As you're looking around the perch, you see that it actually gives you a wide view of the north and east directions over the Allen Wood. You can see quite a ways through many of the game trails, and far away you can see where the Allen Wood climbs and meets the low mountain range that's toward Augur City.
This is great. Actually, we can probably hold up here and wait for something to come across us.
Lilith blinks and she says, "Is that really how this works?"
Sometimes. Sometimes it's tracking. Sometimes it's just waiting for something to come by and ambushing it.
She shrugs and says, "Oh, you're the hunter here, I don't know." And then she says, "Do we want to leave Hiram down there, or?"
No. Let's take a peek out of the... Is it like covered? Like the treehouse, or is it just like a...
It has a thatch roof that's basically made of the branches of the tree that it's built into. It's very well... This hunter's perch is very well disguised. You basically found it because you stumbled across it with a 1.
Fair enough. All right. He'll poke his head out from the ladder and kind of bird call Hiram.
Hiram looks up.
And he'll just wave him up.
Hiram will climb up. The room that is this hunter's perch is basically 10 by 10, so it's not huge, but there's plenty of room for the 3 of you. There is a small bench along the far wall from the hatch that leads down the tree, and as you're looking by that bench, you see that there are writing implements, an ink pot that looks like it's been long dried, and an old-fashioned quill. Now, this is a question that I've been asked before, and I have to clarify now. Pens exist in Amaranth, like fountain pens are the normal thing people write with.
Yeah. All right. So this is old.
Yeah.
Technology.
Very old-fashioned. Yeah.
Very old-fashioned. Okay. Are there any like papers or like a book or anything like nearby, or
roll perception?
Okay. All right.
17. The floor of this hunter's perch is, well, it's not muddy, but there are lots of leaves that have pressed themselves into the floor. And as you're looking around, you notice that some of these leaves look awfully square. And when you reach down and you peel them up, they're brown on the back from the rain and weather, but they're clearly sheets of parchment that have been blown throughout the hunter's perch. And as you're looking at them, you notice you've found the notes of someone hunting. They're written in common. The notes describe a great beast that can easily blend in with its surroundings. A beast that hides in plain sight. And apparently, whoever was using this hunter's perch was trying to track it.
Okay. Interesting. I think he'll put those together and just kind of set them off to the side. All right. This is a hunter's perch. I guess Our game is waiting.
Hiram nods and he says, "You want to wait for them?
Hi.
What did Narok eat? Do you know?"
Uh, with a 20, would I know that
You would
from
know that
earlier?
they frequently eat berries, nuts, small brush, occasionally small game if they can't find the berries and nuts that they prefer to eat. They're basically they're herbivores unless they can't be.
All right. They're omnivores if they have to, but mostly herbivore. So nuts, berries, that sort of stuff.
Hiram nods and he says, "I'll set out some bait."
All right. I'll go ahead and set up the perch. Just kind of like have everything ready. Like have the if there's a lean-to, he would lean some of the arrows ready to grab, um, and to also like break out uh, a canister of some sort of like coffee,
Yeah,
uh,
sure.
just in case we're here for a long time, um, and break out also like just a pouch of jerky that he usually has with him, like rations.
Okay. Yeah, you basically set yourself up for a wait.
Yes.
And you watch as Hiram, who rolled pretty well in survival, it looks like he knows what he's doing. He does not set up the bait where it's blatantly obvious. He puts it
Mm.
buried beneath nearby brush, in places where if a creature were to access the bait, they would be easy to see, but the bait itself is not obvious. And
Okay.
he climbs back up.
All right. Let's be quiet and wait.
Okay. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Wonderful.
You're going to be waiting a long time. It requires patience.
Average.
As you're waiting, it's like been like an hour, and you can hear the gentle footsteps of Lilith as she is looking out each window, and she says, "Fuck, is it always like this?"
Sometimes. Just gotta be patient and enjoy the quiet.
I don't know if you know this, Kaelan, but that's never been a strong suit of mine.
Just focus on the birds. Enjoy the music that they sing.
She scowls at you. She looks out at the trees in the nearby, like, you can clearly see, like, a swallow just happily chirping away on a nearby branch. And Lilith, like, aims an arrow at it. But before she looses, she, like, relaxes and she's like, like, she's clearly restless.
Well, I guess this is as good a time as any. Why are both of you at the merit guard?
Lilith looks at you and she looks over at Hiram. Aren't we supposed to be quiet?
Talk quietly.
Hiram kind of chuckles at her frustrations. You first.
Well, it's hard to say. Special circumstances brought me here. Let's just say I couldn't be where I live any longer. So we have an uncle that has heard of this place, and he thought I'd do well here. Get out of the small town that I'm from. wouldn't say I'd call it a small town, but you know, my family's been living there for a few generations, never left. So this is my chance to see the world. And it's a half truth, kind of.
I was gonna say, I think I need a. Well, I mean, deception is if you're blatantly lying or if you're trying to hide it. I'll say persuasion.
Okay. All right. It's middle of the road today. Tens all together.
Yeah, it's. I'm noticing a pattern here. Okay. They seem to listen. Hiram nods and seems thoughtful about it. Lilith says, "That can't be all of it. Come on."
It's not all of it, but uh, maybe not here. This is a better story to tell over drinks.
I'll hold you to that.
All right.
There is a pause as Hiram's like scratching his chin, and he says, "All right. I mean, I told you before I'm from Nosvidania. Yeah?
I knew that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, my family. You see he's like struggling for the words. My family doesn't get along with a lot of what everybody like the Notion cavalry are a problem, okay?
All
And
right.
Lilith like blinks and she says, "Where did that come from?" And he frowns at her and he says, "How much do you two know about Nosvidania?"
Probably next to nothing, but
You can roll a history.
another 10.
Not much. You know they're famous for horses.
All I know is that they're famous for horses. Other than that, nothing.
There's more to life than horses, Hiram says, and he sounds bitter about it. My family raises elk.
All right.
Not for sale.
Do you ride them?
If they let you. It's a
Interesting.
give and take. Some elk, the kind ones, like being ridden. Some don't. The point is, my family was bidden by do you know? Okay, of course you fucked me. An avatar of Lilith came to my great-grandfather and asked us to watch over the elk of the plains.
Well, that's fucking cool.
Well, I'm here because I don't want to be part of that.
Well, why not?
Because why should my life be decided by what some fucking god wanted?
That's fair.
I'm sorry, I get frustrated thinking about it. You can see he's like wrapping his hands tightly around the limbs of his longbow. It does not take a high passive insight to see he's trying not to rage.
Oh. Glad you're here. I think,
He He lets
Your
out a long
skills.
breath.
I think your skills are an asset to the Marine Guard.
Thanks. I've worked hard I've worked hard to get that way. You notice he changes his about what he's going to say a lot. And you're not sure if he's changing it to the truth or from the truth.
Okay.
You can roll me an insight to try and get a better idea.
Okay, nope.
Yeah, he's hard to read. It seems like he doesn't... Maybe he doesn't trust you, or maybe he doesn't know the answer himself.
That's fair. All right.
Lilith, watches this happen, and she says, yeah, I get that. I'm glad you're doing something for yourself. Hiram nods at her, and then goes back to looking out the perch. Lilith lets out a sigh, and she says, guess it's my turn. I'm running.
Okay. All right.
I did some stupid things back home.
He'll jest at her. Sounds like par for the course for you.
Thanks. Go fuck yourself. No, my family owed money to the wrong people. And I tried to resolve that debt, and I did it, and I was wrong. So I had to run, or they were going to take it out of my hide. Or my family's hide. And I don't have a whole lot of love for my family, but they don't deserve paying for my mistake.
I think a solemn expression will come over Kaelan's face as he completely understands. What if I told you I was running too? That's the other part of why I'm here.
I believe you. Lots of people are here running.
It's not because I want to.
Are you here for the same reason I'm here?
Somewhat, but slightly different. Apparently, I'm the bastard of a noble.
I knew there was something about you I didn't like.
It's not like that. I'm nothing like him. I was raised by my grandfather, who I still call my father, because that's what he feels like to me. The noble's new wife knows that a bastard exists. She doesn't like the chance of her own baby boy being next or ousted of his chance of taking up the Admiralty. So.
The Admiralty? That's a hell of a noble.
That's what they call nobles in Trident.
Well, if you're a bastard, is that even a concern?
They look at bloodlines rather than even if you're the bastard of a noble, uh, you still have the chance if you're the firstborn.
So, you're here to get strong enough to crush her, right?
At least make it hard for her to catch me.
Oh, fuck that. I'm here to get strong enough to crush the bitch that's threatening my family.
Really?
Every single one of them.
All right.
I will make them lament the day they made me afraid, so that they can know that fear too.
All right. Well, if you never need any help with that.
Don't make a girl a promise you're afraid to keep.
I'm not afraid to keep it.
Suddenly, in the middle of your conversation, Hiram, look.
I look out into the woods.
Roll me a D100. I don't know what I expected. Okay.
I was expecting another, like, low number.
That's low. That is low. In
Yeah.
case you did not know. All right. You see a creature. I'm going to show you what that creature looks like in a moment, once my foundry stops lagging into the dirt. Come on. Oh my goodness. It has been giving me this trouble, and I don't know why. Here it is. That is what you see.
Wow. Okay.
It is the size of an elk, but it is huge. It is towering, and you see it is gently crackling in between the trees as it is sniffing at the bait that Hiram laid. I'm going to shrink this down so it's not dominating the screen. As you see it, you can see why it's so hard to spot, as its bark matches that of the trees around it and seems to shift to align itself with the different bark of the differing trees. There is a moment where there is a birch tree and some of the bark actually changes to the white, papery substance. It's beautiful and strange and seems to magically almost have an aura about it. And Hiram gestures for you as he has his own bow out.
I take my bow and knock an arrow, and I look to Lilith.
She, seeing what's happening, crouches low and does the same. All three of you are going to make a bow attack at the same time.
Yep.
I have an HP for this creature. You need to deal enough damage to it, or it will run, and we will have to deal with that. So, Kaelan, roll bow attack.
I will favored foe bonus action,
Okay?
so I can add a D4 to this.
Okay. I
check
have
my-
I have Hiram and Lilith. I have their bow attacks rolled.
Okay.
You need to beat an AC of 14. Hiram barely made it with a 15, but Lilith made a 25.
Do we have advantage?
You are from sneaking, so yeah. It doesn't know you're there.
Okay. All right. A 2 and a 14 for 23.
Yeah, 23 certainly hits.
All right. 9 plus a D4. 10.
Okay.
And I'm aiming right. I'm just going to ping it on the image here. right there.
Hold on, I'm doing math. 15, 24, 25. You deal 25 points of damage over the 3 arrows.
Okay.
The 3 arrows are all vaguely aimed in the same general area. Hiram's arrow hits a little bit high, a little bit too high up on the neck. But the remaining 2 arrows sink deep into the chest of the Nurok. And before it can even recognize that it's felt any pain, the Nurok lets out a small moan as it dies over the bait.
Hey, good shot. Well done.
We got it. We got it.
Bye.
You see Lilith is like giddy, and her hands are almost shaking as she puts the bow away, and she says, "That was the first... Holy fuck! And I had no idea. Okay, what next?"
We go get it. We skin it as best we can and try to save the antlers and put it in the bag.
Okay. I don't know how to do that.
We'll show you. Hiram and I will show you.
Yeah, you stay close and just don't cut anything, he says to Lilith as he follows you.
If any predators are near, yeah.
Oh.
If I'll turn to Lilith. If any predators are nearby, they'll probably smell the blood. So try to watch us and keep an eye out.
Oh, I'll be ready.
All right. And we'll climb on down and go and get the pelt and try to save the antlers as best we can.
Okay. Firstly, this is going to require a few rolls. Are you proficient in medicine, or is it just survival you're rolling with?
Just survival. I'm not proficient in medicine.
Are you proficient in leatherworker's tools?
No, just woodcarver's tools.
Okay, then this is just a survival roll for you.
Uh-huh.
For each. So go ahead and roll me survival. Hiram is helping.
Okay.
Which gives you... Let me roll survival for Hiram, and if he rolls above a certain amount, you'll have advantage. He rolled a natural 17, so yes, you have advantage.
Okay. And then I'll add the family token.
Okay.
That's 2 19s.
Oh, yeah.
And a D4, let's get a 4. Yes!
A 30. You have harvested a flawless Nurok pelt.
Oh, perfect. All right.
You managed
Amazing.
to cut it in such a way that even the wounds from the arrows are negligible in damage to the pelt. It is as good as it can be.
As he rolls up the pelt and gets the bag of holding out, I'll turn to Lilith. It's almost worth the wait, isn't it?
She is smiling as she watches it happen. And while she is keeping an eye out on the surroundings, she nods and she says, "That was badass. Okay." You notice this pelt is huge, as this creature is huge. You imagine the bag of holding probably could hold maybe 4 pelts like this.
All right. Well, I guess the antlers, because they probably want those too.
Hiram nods. Roll
All
survival.
Right. Another an 18 and a 19.
26.
Yeah, I won't add the
It's
rest.
okay. You perfectly harvest the antlers without damaging them.
Right. All right. We probably don't need to keep these in the bag of holding.
Probably not, but they are enormous.
Yeah.
Each one is like the size of like a chair. Or each is huge.
All right, so we have a pelt, and we'll have to do something with the body. We'll have to move it out of the area. So, Hiram, let's take this carcass elsewhere.
We can always donate it to the river nearby.
All right, let's do that.
let some predators feed on what we're not using. And
Fair enough.
you watch as he does cut a swath of meat away. And he looks at you and says, "Never had Nurok jerky."
Neither have I.
"We'll find out, huh?" And
Good.
he helps you drag the carcass.
Okay.
It weighs a lot.
Yeah. I'm trained in athletics, but the strength score is like 14 right
Yeah,
now.
it's you don't need to roll, but it is heavy. And Lilith realizes that the two of you are struggling with it, and she comes in, and she does also help as well. And with the three of you, you can move it soundly the 500 yards or so it is to the nearby river.
Okay.
Once it is down by the riverside, Lilith is like washing her hands off in the water, and she says, "So what, we do it again?"
Do it again.
Okay.
We can try to get another one, or try to fill up the bag. It'll hold about 3 more.
I'm down for trying some more. That was awesome.
All right, then. Then we'll use the spot again. Same bait, same plan.
Okay. As the three of you head back up to the hunter's perch, I'm going to roll to see what are the odds of another creature appearing. And I'm going to ask you to roll another wisdom save to stay calm and patient.
All right. Uh, 14.
Okay. I rolled 92, so it takes like 20 minutes before another Nurok appears in a slightly different brush. So,
Okay.
it's the same story. I need an attack from each of you.
Uh, 22.
Longbow from Lilith. 22 certainly hits. Longbow from Hiram. That's a 23.
And it's
An 18.
nope. My favorite foe only lasts a minute. So
Do you use another spell slot?
I'll do it again.
Okay.
I don't think it uses a spell slot.
I don't know anything about your character.
It's a 10 again.
Okay. So you deal 10 points of damage?
Yes.
Lilith dealt 9, and Hiram dealt 6. So you deal 25 points of damage again,
Nice.
which is what you need to kill a Nurok. So, the second Nurok goes down clean once again, and this time Lilith is like bounding down the ladder with enthusiasm. Go ahead and roll me survival to harvest the pelt and the antler again. Still with advantage because Hiram's helping you.
All right. Not. I'll
18.
go ahead and use the
Use your
last
token.
charge.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
22. The DC to harvest the pelt of a Nurok is 20. So you have a flawless pelt of a Nurok.
Perfect. All right.
Survival for the antlers.
All right. 22.
Okay. Yep. You harvest the antlers of the second Nurok.
Perfect. At what time is it?
It's
after the
about
second one?
it's about 10 in the morning.
Okay. Let's try for one more, and then we'll call it.
Okay. You haul the Nurok's body down to the river, down by the other one. Your passive perception tells you there are predators about when you get down to the river.
Oh.
Because they've smelled the carcass.
Mhm.
You offload this second carcass, and you beat a hasty retreat at Hiram's
Yes.
recommendation.
Of course. Trying to stealth it.
Roll stealth.
But yeah. All right. Perfect. 21.
Hiram rolls a 17, and Lilith rolls an 8.
Oh no.
There is a bit of tension as you're heading away from the river that Lilith stumbles and slides down the wet embankment back down to the river. And there is a brief moment where you see there is a wolf that has, like, crested nearby brush, and Lilith and the wolf see each other, but the wolf runs away.
Okay.
It was likely by itself. And Lilith looks
All
up
right.
at you and says, "Oh, fuck, okay." And then she manages to get herself back on her feet.
All right, let's try for one more.
Roll me a wisdom save. Okay.
All right. 17.
All right. Alrighty. It is 3 hours of quiet. Of quiet conversation. And right when you're about to give up, a Nurok on the far side of the clearing breaks a twig, and Hiram points it out.
There it is. Last one.
Lilith and Hiram draw their longbows back.
All right.
Go ahead and make your attacks. Still at advantage because you're snake. You're
Double
stealth.
19 again. Ah.
Lilith rolled a 21 and Hiram rolled a 24.
No, I don't have favorite foe again. But I'll go ahead and use a spell slot just for the extra D8 damage of force.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is ironic
For
that you
another
chose
10.
to do that because you had done 24 damage before rolling that. So you deal 27 damage to the Nurok, killing it.
Okay.
I thought you were finally going to have to chase one. Nope.
Damn. All right. Well, the good thing I did that.
Yep.
Cool. All right. There it is.
Roll
Once
survival.
again, all right. Another 26.
Yep. A third pelt is harvested.
Awesome.
And the last
Man.
antlers?
Last antlers. Oh, just barely a 20. Dirty
20 is the DC. You successfully harvest the antlers as well.
All right. Very good. All right.
You believe you're probably carrying, with all these antlers and pelts, maybe about 110 gold worth?
Oof. All right. Everybody grab a set of antlers. I got the bag of holding. Let's head back. We can leave this one here.
Hiram nods. I don't feel like risking all the predators around the river now.
I know, they're probably feasting now.
Yeah, let's move.
All right. Yeah, we head on back.
The whole time Lilith is talking about what that felt like. How strange it felt to, like, land the killing blow on the Nurok and it just gracefully fell over. And how different it was from fighting people, which is all she's ever fought before.
Mm-hmm.
And she just... It seems as though the experience was enlightening for Lilith.
Almost a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, almost.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did.
Good. Maybe a couple weeks from now we'll go hunting just the normal deer. They're a bit easier to track.
She nods and she says, well, I mean, normal deer can't just blend into trees, can they?
Sometimes they're hard to spot. They're a bit smaller than what that creature is, but that creature had some very nice camouflage, so it evens out.
She nods. And as you arrive back in Ferrum, it is busy, as it's about 3 in the afternoon now.
All right. Gonna go straight to the Tanners and
Okay.
give them back their bag of gold and get my 10 gold back, and see what we can get for the pelts and the antlers.
Uh, the halfling, not halfling, the half elf woman, who has clearly been tanning all day, is seated behind the desk, and she has a cold drink, and is her feet up when you enter, and she looks up and she says, "Ah, looks like I don't have to hunt you down after all."
No, it was pretty successful, given given the sunrise this morning. We were quite worried about it.
Well, it happens when it happens. What can you do about it? Now, based on all those antlers, it looks like you found yourself some Nurok.
3 of them.
Well, that's a fine hunting day if I've ever heard one. One for each of you, then.
Think so? Yes.
All right, let me
Uh,
take a look.
And he answered the bag of golding, and
She
I get.
heads over to this wide butcher's block of a table and begins pulling the pelts out, and she lays them out and pointedly inspects them very closely. And as she's running her fingers over the furs and looking for obvious signs of injury or chase or scarring, she says, "It looks like you certainly know what you're doing, doesn't it?"
Aye. It's better with a pair of helping hands
Of
and
course,
someone to
it
keep
is.
watch.
I see. Okay. Yep. Just 3 punctures. That's it. Okay. Ah, nice and clean work. No
Uh,
distress.
Forgot to mention, I grabbed those sheets of parchment from the treehouse.
Okay. Make a note. You have old hunter's notes.
Old hunter's notes. Got it.
As the tanner is looking over the 3 pelts, she says, "I do believe I have 3 perfectly workable." Okay, awesome. All right. Easy peasy. 3 Neurokites. And 3 sets of perfect antlers. You had the good fortune of $3 then. Okay.
Aye.
I'm gonna roll. She nods. I can part with maybe 120 gold for the 3.
All right, that sounds fair.
Perfect. Well then,
And
she.
and the antlers.
Oh, that's included.
Very well.
But
120 divided by 3.
Yeah, 40 gold apiece. And she reaches back behind the counter and sets out 12 platinum.
Perfect. So 4 platinum each.
Lilith holds up the 4 platinum coins between her fingers like a gambler would, and she says, "I certainly won't scoff at this.
Sure you won't.
It's a fine Saturday's work."
Yeah, and we were done before dinner, so that's good.
That we were. And Hiram says, "I'm going to go take a bath."
I think getting washed up is on the plan right now.
He nods. And Hiram then looks between the 2 of you and he says, "If you need me, I'll be in the Druid's courtyard. Otherwise, I'll see you around."
All right. Thanks, Hiram. Good
Of
hunting.
course. Aye. That was a good day. And
Very
he
good day.
has the slab of meat that he's cut away over his shoulder as he makes his way away.
All right.
Lilith looks at you and says, "Get washed up and then meet for dinner."
Sure.
Cool.
Mary guard or shift stool or just the old.
Oh, we
Old
just
mess
made
hall.
money. We gotta hit the Mary Guard. Are you kidding me?
Fair enough.
And hey, dress nice.
Boy, are you asking me out on a date?
You showed me a good time. Maybe it's about time I return the favor.
Fair enough. I'll dress nice.
She smirks, and the 2 of you head to the Maryguard Academy.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, and then, as you have successfully completed your hunting mission and have been asked out on a date by Lilith, we will handle that date on the next session.
Sounds good.
So, well done. A perfect hunting trip, landing 3 Nurok.
That was great. That was good.
Well done. And to anyone who's watching, I can't wait to see you all again next week. We love you, and we'll see you next time.